Sadly, I've just got a nagging feeling you're right, Paul, and in that sense, no simile can be too outrageous for her to liken her life, her wedding, and the reaction to it in South Africa to that, to liken it to the release of Nelson Mandela, who was in prison for decades, and this great symbol of reconciliation. For some people, if a politician said that, I think they'd probably be finished. I think they'd be finished. It would just be so absurd.
Yes, yeah. If you needed to actually, well, that's the interesting thing. I think we should all just keep quiet and hope she eventually goes for some sort of public office where she needs a vote, because that's the only kind of fun we're going to have. The rumor is that she thinks that the Notting Hill Carnival was actually to celebrate the interview. So this is an ongoing problem with the Sussexes. Yeah, I wanted to run for office. I so badly wanted to run for president. It's going to be the greatest day in American history when we see that. But yes, if she ever puts herself up for actual votes, I think she'll find out what the actual what her actual weight of her popularity is. But as it stands, she is the ultimate clickbait. She's the human clickbait at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm not oblivious to, and you're definitely not oblivious to, as you mentioned, in all seriousness, the point about her popularity. I know when I talk to my teenage daughters about this, and I just sort of assume, that they see the iniquity and the narcissism of Meghan Markle. Yeah. And they, what, Dad? What? She's quite cool, and so there is a huge intergenerational gulf. For sure. Can I just strike a slightly different note, Paul? And I'd be genuinely curious as to what you make of this. Tomorrow, and I hope it's not excessively tasteless, because it's an authentic question based on a desire to try and understand the long-term future of the royal family. Tomorrow, 25th anniversary of the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. At the time, anybody who covered that story, I did. I was in Paris at the time and thought this is a total disaster for the monarchy. This institution is going to struggle to survive this. But actually, long-term, globally, all it did actually was just, it didn't diminish their reputation globally. And I just wonder, actually, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, for all the woes of this relationship with Meghan Markle and Harry, actually, that global brand of the British monarchy actually doesn't suffer as a consequence. Not really.
Not even slightly. No, you're absolutely right. Look, it's a constitutional monarchy. There's a different level of fame to being part of the actual constitution. At some point, the monarch signs laws, etc. As long as that remains so, you'll never, ever get above the power of a nation. If people think it's been diminished, that's up to them. But the point is, a nation having an actual constitutional monarch at its head, that's a different level of fame. You can only... The Sussexes are still picking over a carcass of a relationship they had 2-3 years ago. That's the reality of it. It's like some sort of ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend selling stories to the tabloids. Eventually that wanes. The fact is, the royal family have been engineered to stay relevant, if you like. I mean, it's extraordinary. From every decade of the last 100 years, you can see that they've adapted, whether it's the televising the speech, the Christmas Day speech, to how they dealt with the Duke of Windsor, to death of Diana, obviously. Whoever thought that Charles would ever be able to marry Camilla? And now Camilla's very, very popular. The evidence is the royal family knows how to adapt and how to stay relevant and popular. And like I said, at the very heart of it, it's a constitutional monarchy. And that is you would need billions, and they've only got millions, to even begin to compete with the power and the reach of the royal family.